Have you ever noticed that your thoughts feel different at night? During the day, you are busy. You work, you talk, you move. But at night, when the lights go off and the house goes quiet, something changes. Suddenly, your mind starts replaying old conversations. It brings up small mistakes from years ago. It asks questions you cannot answer. Why does this happen? And why does it happen to some people much more than others? Maybe this sounds familiar to you. Ready to sleep and your body is tired, but your mind is not. It keeps working. One thought leads to another thought. Soon you are thinking about something that happened last week, or last year, or something that has not even happened yet. This experience can feel exhausting. Some people call it overthinking. Others simply feel like their brain will not turn off. And if this happens to you often, you may have wondered, quietly, why can't I just relax like other people seem to? You are not broken. And you are not alone. This experience is far more common than most people realize. And there is real psychology behind it. First, let's talk about why night makes thinking feel louder. During the day, your brain receives a huge amount of information. You see people, hear sounds, respond to messages, make small decisions. Psychologists call this cognitive load, which means the amount of mental effort your brain is using at one time. All of this activity keeps your mind busy, so quieter, deeper thoughts often stay in the background. At night, that outside noise disappears. There are fewer distractions, which means fewer things pulling your attention away. So your mind naturally turns inward. Researchers who study attention suggest that when the environment becomes calm, the brain often shifts towards self-reflection, meaning it starts thinking about your own life, choices, and emotions, instead of the outside world. Imagine your mind is like a radio. Many stations are playing at once, so no single one is very clear. At night, most of those stations turn off. Now you can hear one station perfectly. That station is often the one playing your unfinished thoughts, your worries, or your unresolved feelings. On the other hand, this is not always a bad thing. Some psychologists believe this quiet reflection time can help the brain process emotional experiences. Meaning, it works through feelings that were not fully dealt with earlier in the day. In many cases, this is actually a normal, healthy mental process, even when it does not feel comfortable. However, there is a difference between reflection and rumination. Rumination means repeating the same negative thoughts over and over, without reaching any solution. Psychologists have found that people who experience high levels of rumination often struggle more with anxiety and low mood, especially at night when there is nothing else to distract them. Studies in behavioral science also suggest that stress plays a major role here. When someone experiences ongoing stress, their brain's alert system, sometimes linked to a region called the amygdala, stays more active, even during rest. This means the brain continues scanning for problems, almost like a guard who forgot to finish their shift. This can explain why stressful periods often lead to more nighttime overthinking. It is also worth mentioning that this pattern is common in people who are naturally reflective or emotionally sensitive. Some psychologists believe there may be a connection between deep nighttime thinking and traits like empathy, self-awareness, or even certain patterns linked to intelligence. However, this connection is not fully proven, and researchers are still studying it. So it is important not to assume that overthinking always means someone is highly intelligent. It simply means their brain is very active in a specific way. So what does this mean about you? Personally, in many cases, nighttime overthinking is not a sign of weakness. It can be a sign that your mind is processing something important, something your daily schedule did not give you time to think about. People who experience this often tend to be thoughtful, observant, and emotionally aware. They notice details others miss. They replay conversations because they care about how their words affect people. They think about the future because they want to make good decisions. These are not flaws. They are simply part of how a reflective mind works. At the same time, if this pattern becomes constant, exhausting, or painful, it may also be connected to stress, anxiety, or emotional overload, meaning the mind has too much unprocessed emotional information at once. This does not mean something is wrong with you. Many people experience this after periods of change, pressure, or emotional difficulty. Understanding this can help you respond to it with more patience instead of frustration. If your mind gets louder at night, you are not failing at rest. Your brain may simply be trying to make sense of everything it experienced during the day. Psychologists suggest that gentle habits, like writing down your thoughts, practicing slow breathing, or setting aside quiet time earlier in the evening, may help ease this nighttime mental noise. This is not a guaranteed solution for everyone, but many people find it helpful. Your nighttime thoughts do not define your worth, and they do not mean something is broken inside you. They are simply part of being a thinking, feeling human being. And sometimes, the quietest hours of the night are where your mind finally has space to speak.